Two Wheels is proudly powered by Broadlink, delivering serious bandwidth for serious business. Welcome to the HPE Africa News Desk. This week we visit the Aldo Scribante circuit in Port Elizabeth for the Mayfair Gearbox-sponsored National Supersport races. Boy, do we have a pair for you. Greg Maloney and Dave Peterson are your commentators.
We're down at Aldo Scribante for round 3 of the South African Motorcycle Championship. It's going to be a tight and twisty affair because at this circuit, especially with the conditions and with the surface, very abrasive. The new Pirelli tyres that they're trying out for the first time are going to be pushed to their limit. And let's see who's going to get what it takes to get the setup right and get them onto the front row and onto pole position. It looks like it's going to be Sheridan Morais at this stage, but we'll wait and see until qualifying is done. Third in the championship at this stage is Nicholas Kershaw.
Yeah, it's been quite a good start to the season, a lot better than the last 2 years. So hopefully we can keep the momentum up and get a good finish for the end of the season.
2 Kawasaki's in the top 3 and Lance Isaacs is looking for a championship. It'll be his first number 1 if he can get it.
Seems like just yesterday you were lining up on a 125 at the back of the grid, eh? Suddenly here you're one of the older guys.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's, somebody actually said to me today, when do I plan on going back to Europe to race? And I said I'm too old, and they laughed at me. They said you actually don't seem old at all. How old are you? So I was like, well, yeah, I'm well into my 30s now. So me being the veteran in the racing and racing with these youngsters that are in their late teens, it is quite inspiring. So you know, I've got to make myself slightly wide.
Great to see MV Augusta joining this championship at the beginning of the season, and they've come out swinging. They're not holding back, and it looks like Cam Peterson will try and maintain his championship lead here in Aldo Scribante.
Yeah, I mean, we're still early on in the season, but got a little bit of a lead in the championship, I think 10 points on Lance, and it seems like it's going to be a close one this year. Every race we go to, it seems like it's me and my teammate and Lance, Brent, and so looking forward to the rest of the year, and hopefully I can keep it on top.
Good to see a welcome return and on a Yamaha as part of the MTech team, Sheridan Morais stepping into duties for the injured Dean Foss just before he goes over to represent South Africa at the World Supersports.
Yes, it's been awesome. I've had so much fun and nice to be with my dad, you know, always worked for me and done all my bikes and that. So yes, it's been awesome coming back in that. I had a taste of it last year. I did a 1,000 ride at Kyalami, but this has been awesome. You know, PE I think is our best track that we've got in the country. And it's been awesome to be with the guys and just have fun, you know.
Having fun with the guys, Lo Marie Krobler definitely showing that the ladies have got what it takes in South African Supersports.
Lomi, it looks like your pet frog has been really good for you this year, and it seems just like the other day that you were riding 150s and now you're at the Nationals already.
Yes, I'm very proud of myself. So I can't believe I took this big step to ride in the Nationals after 4 years ago when I rode a 150. So I'm very, very happy where I'm now.
Billabong country, of course, down here. And the Pirelli tyres we mentioned earlier are going to be tested this weekend. Brand new sets. Good to see Arushan Mudley on the sideline coming to show some support for the guys who went out there and qualified. In pole, Sheridan Morais, Lance Isaacs, Cam Peterson and Brent Herron. Half a second between the top 4.
That's the first row, Greg. On the second row of the Mayfair Gearbox grid, it's going to be Nicholas Kershaw, Garrick Flock, Kawasaki's against Darren Binder, Suzuki, and Ricky Lee Wears, Kawasaki.
Gareth Shorty Davidson, Charles Wasserfall, Nicholas van der Walt and Nicole van Aswegen will look to probably carry on their arch rivalry we saw in Cape Town.
Kawasaki's versus Honda and Triumph there. Then it's Brandon Good, Reino Stander, Lo Marie Krobler and Anthony Shelley. Quite far down actually on the grid with his Kawasaki.
Jesse Bossos behind him, Janine Mitchell, third of our ladies, and Darian Kaiser with a big crash in qualifying. Let's see if he gets back up for race 2. Let's go racing. A big thanks to Mayfair Gearbox for getting involved with the South African Supersports and Superbikes. It's race 1 of the Supersports, And they're all lined up. Who's going to get the drop off the line? A good start from Sheridan Morais. Lance Isaacs goes with him, but look at Kershaw coming from behind. A good start of the second row, and he goes side by side with the two MVs as they head down towards turn one. Look at Binder sneaking through as well. The Suzuki was very hot off the line, and looks like it's going to slot into fourth place as they go into turn one.
Darren Binder having his first ride in the National Supersports, 15 years old, riding in Red Bull this year. Amazing. We're on board with Sheridan Morais, just looking back at the first of the MV Augustas. Good ride there from Ben Herron. But out front, it does look like Lance Isaacs is getting away just a little bit with the Kawasaki.
Opening up a little bit of a gap now as the man we see Ben Herron on board with. It's Sheridan Morais who's in second place. Here comes Cam, looking for a way early on Binder and might sneak through, but Binder shuts the door. Great start, as we said, from the Suzuki rider. Remember, that's his brother's bike. Hasn't even turned a wheel other than going to the high school.
Cam Peterson, wrong gear, coming out of the hairpin. Nicholas Kershaw sneaks up the inside, but then runs wide, coming out of Chevy. Yeah, Cam Peterson back in front of him. So they swap position twice in two corners.
Now just chopping and changing as they sort things out. On this is only the first lap, remember. We've still got a long way to go. It's another 11 to go as they cross the stripe. This time, it's Isaacs from Sheridan, then Brent Herron. Binder is tucked in, looking for the toe.
Look at Sheridan Morais. He's tucked in 263 k's per hour down the straight, bangs it down to third gear, puts it a little bit sideways, and Cam Peterson, he's trying so hard in the MV Augusta. Poor start from the championship leader. He'll be worried about this. And look at Herron as he hangs off the side of the MV Augusta. And we got a crash down there. It looks like that's Jesse Boshoff and Nicholas van der Walt have fallen out of the race. Not sure if they're tangled. It's the same incident though.
Yeah, both of them down at turn one, coming off and maybe just under braking, just got it wrong. It was a slight tailwind, so they might have been affected by that as they come up into the hairpin now. It's Sheridan Morais hunting down Lance Isaacs. Cam Peterson under attack as well from Binder. Binder, what a starter from the man. Really, this is the kind of racing we're going to see out of him. It would be such a loss to actually see him go overseas, but of course we've got to wish him all the very best as well.
I'm sure he'll be taking part in more races this year. Cam Peterson actually just got past him coming out of the sweep. So now Peterson wants to look and catch up to his teammate because it's all about the points at this stage. Ooh, double apex there from Lance Isaacs and Brent Herron out of the seat coming onto the straight.
Yeah, it's going to compromise his drive slightly. Look at Cam using the slipstream and that compromised drive and goes side by side with his teammate. He's on the outside of turn one. He might not be able to ride around the outside. Yeah, I thought he might back out of that one. Wait a little bit longer and see where Brent makes a mistake.
The youngster Darren Binder is learning from these guys every single lap. He is really flying. Morais flicks it through the S's and then they drive up the hill through a left-hand kink and then through the sweep, flat out in fifth gear, through that right-hander. And Morais starting to make a plan. He's looking on to Lance Isaacs. Cam Peterson comes through the sweep. Oh, and he gets out of the seat. Look at that. Cam Peterson slides the back end as does Lance Isaacs going into the hairpin.
Shez wasn't too far off either, getting it sideways and black lines being left there. The Pirelli rubber working hard and Binder's down. In the background, Darren Binder has crashed out at the hairpin. That's a big pity. Man, he would have been right up there and possibly in with a chance of a podium.
Lost the front end, low side, midfield pack. We see Garrick Flock, Gareth Davidson just ahead of him, Reino Stander, Charles Wasserfall, Anthony Shelley in the mix. And there he does pick up his bike. That is young Darren Binder to get back on board with Suzuki. Herron flies down the straight on the MV Augusta. Gets it down and does Cam Peterson look up the inside? No, he doesn't. No change in the lead at this stage with just a few laps to go.
Yeah, no changes in the front four, in fact, and probably just hanging tight. I think that's exactly what Sheridan Morais and Cam are doing. Waiting for an opportunity later in the race to make the move stick so they don't have to work at it again and try and keep out their teammates and their rivals.
This is where the MVs are getting good drive coming up this part of the circuit, up through that sweep as they go through Hanger, then down towards the hip, and Cam Peterson now starting to look to get past his teammate. And once again, Sheridan Morais puts the Yamaha absolutely sideways on the brakes. Peterson now looking to go past as they go down into Chevy.
He's gone around the outside of Brent Herron. I didn't think that was going to work, but he squares it off and comes up the inside, coming into Chevy now, and out of that gets good drive. Let's see if he runs a little bit too hot. He's got past Brent Herron. He's going to be good on the brakes here. It might run him a little bit wide coming into the final turn. It does, but look at how he just squares it off. Block pass. Thanks for coming. Somebody's been watching AMA Supercross.
He certainly has. Nicholas Kershaw and Gareth Davidson having their own little dice for 5th and 6th places, and just behind them is Garrick Flock, back on board with Sheridan. He's going up the inside. Yes, he makes it. He has passed Lance Isaacs on the last lap of this race. Talk about race planning.
Absolutely to perfection, and now Lance Isaacs is going to have to push hard for this last lap. He didn't expect that. He thought he had it all done and dusted, but unfortunately, throughout the race, he's just been seeing edging forward forward and closer to Isaacs, eventually getting him down into turn 1. But he's got another worry in his mind, and that is the fact that all of a sudden Cam Peterson might sneak the second place away from him.
Just looking at the lap times, Cam Peterson has set the quickest lap, and Marias backs it in once again. Peterson also lays some rubber. Kershaw's having a great ride behind there in 5th place. He's dropped off Gareth Davidson now. Can Cam Peterson do something about getting up that second place? Because don't forget, Lance Isaacs is his rival in the championship. Looks up the inside. Meantime, Sher Marias has got this one covered as they come down towards the finish of the race. So it's going to be Marias. Cam Peterson can't do anything about his arch rival, Lance Isaacs.
M-Tech Yamaha taking first blood here today. Pretoria no Toyota Kawasaki comes through for second, and Liqui Moly MV for third. Kershaw, what a ride there. Moves up into 4th place. A great effort from him, and Brent Herron in 5th on the MV.
The official results then, and unfortunately Nicholas Kershaw being bumped down to 5th place because of a jump start. So it's Marias, Isaacs, Peterson, Herron, Kershaw and Gareth Davidson. Well done in 6th place. Time for race 2, Greg.
Straight into race 2, and on the grid you can see the race pace is definitely down. These guys are not holding anything back. Neither will that man. Darren Binder looking to maybe make up for that little bit of an incident up at the hairpin, and I'm sure that he'll be in the mix again. He was fantastic off the start, but those Suzukis have always been good off the start.
Seems to be a fast bike, does the Suzuki. So we've got a good manufacturer mix as we wait for the light to go off. Who's going to get the whole shot? Cam Peterson starts on pole position this time for the second race, courtesy of his second best lap in practice. 675 triples, getting blown away by the Kawasaki's down the straight. On board with Peterson. Binder looks up the inside, can't do it, but he does edge out Kershaw and hang out to dry. On the outside is Sheridan Marias.
Yeah, by Darren Binder, 15 years of age and the double champion and multiple champion in South African Superbike and Supersport racing, just gets hung out to dry. Exactly right. So it's Kawasaki out front, 2 MVs following, then it's the Suzuki, and for the first time we mention it, it's the first time we've got all 5 manufacturers involved on the grid. In fact, 6 if you took Triumph into the mix as well.
Yes, good to see Triumph there as well. They got a lady rider on this year. We spoke to her down in Cape Town, Nicole van Osvigen. Very happy with the new bike. Struggling a bit with gearing here today. Kawasaki out front. Good drive this time for Cam Peterson. Didn't come out in the wrong gear this time around. But Lance Isaacs is looking ever so smooth and powerful with that Pretoria North Kawasaki.
One aspect you've got to take into account is that Cam Peterson got a good start, but he's still behind his teammate. Now, that's a big concern for me, because remember what happened at the last round? The two of them had a little in-house fight between themselves and allowed Lance Isaacs to get away. And that's exactly what's happening right now.
Sit out of the seat. Herron goes in the bush. MV Augustus, they're trying pretty hard. Now, back on board with Sheridan Marias. Has he got the oomph down the straight? Well, he's disposed of the Suzuki straight away, so that's a good move from him. Looks like the Yamaha's pretty fast in the straight line.
Not too shabby in a straight line, that is for sure. Using the slipstream effect to very good use, and gets up the inside now behind Brent Herron, closing down on him and Cam Peterson. They are second and third on the road, trying to catch Sir Lancelot, who's opening up a bit of a gap. But I've got to just say something. We didn't pick up on that until now. That's Kershaw and Flock. Flock is in the hunt for the lead.
Flock is right there with his best ride he's had all year, so well done to Garrick Flock. He's having a tremendous ride with that Kawasaki. On board with Herron, and Peterson runs up the inside into the hairpin. Can he hold it? Does he get on the power? Yes, he does. Good drive. Now he'll be after the leader. Lance Isaacs is in his sights.
He certainly is, but it's quite a way up the road to get that sighting done perfectly, because look at that, it's 10-12 bike lengths. Flock runs a little bit wide though. He gets forced out by the team captain of the Race Bike Rentals Kawasaki team, and he manages to hang on to it. How he did that, I have no idea. Kershaw, for the first time this season, has been outgunned by one of his teammates.
Great to see the little Kawasaki dice. Now on board with Marias. Look at the speed of the Yamaha as he goes down the straight. He goes straight past Brent Herron as they go down into turn number 1, and he puts it sideways. Herron looks up the inside, can't do it. Maybe runs a little bit wide. Oh, and we've got a crash.
Flock's down. He's pushed too. He's flocked that up completely.
Oh, Derek Flock. Well, he was trying his hardest. Great ride, and then some dicing going on mid-pack as well. But boy, out front, it looks like it's all happening.
Yeah, Sheridan Marias up the inside, and they're getting up another position. So Sher's show is on the way, and showing us exactly why he's some of South Africa's best talent. Now, right on his tail, he's got Binder. Then it's Herron. Then Kershaw. Kershaw hanging on for dear life right now. And a bit further back, good to see Shelley starting to come into the battle for the top 10. He has really battled here this weekend.
Anthony Shelley having a better ride this time around, and our lady rider, Lo-Marie Schrobler. She's having a wonderful ride on the Kawasaki. 1 minute 4s around here. Amazing. Just a replay then of Garrick Flock's crash. You can see lost the front end going into turn 1. He'll be kicking himself himself, but that experience of running up front would have helped. And look at this, Peterson has closed down. He is now right on the back of Lance Isaacs. This is for the South African Championship. Let's not forget Sheridan Moraes, wild card today. Peterson trying to get up on the inside. Yes, he does. Oh, and he's touched him. Looks like they might have just had a coming together. Isaacs bites the dirt. Lance Isaacs has gone down, thrown away 25 points.
Now and across the line now. This is at the closing stages. Sheridan Moraes realizes here's a time for a double victory. And look at the power of the Yamaha. Goes bombing past that MV. He was in the slipstream, so he got a little bit of help at the end of the straight. But now Cam Peterson has got to fight for it on this final lap.
Peterson then, I think maybe he just got stuck in a gear. It sounded like the bike was hitting the rev limiter. As we see some of the mid-pack guys coming through, they're having their own wonderful dice. Just a replay from Sheridan Moraes' angle, and you can see there that Peterson and Isaacs just touched handlebars. Isaacs unfortunately crashing out. I'm sure Peterson didn't mean any intent there, but unfortunately for Isaacs, that's the end of his race. In fact, he's picked it up, might be able to come back and score some points. We're in the final stage of the race. Can Cam Peterson do something about getting past that Yamaha of Sheridan Moraes?
He's only got one corner to try it at. He's on the wrong side of that corner. Shez is going to be good on the brakes. He always is. Now it's going to be a dice. Can Cam square it off like we saw earlier on with Brent Herron? If he does, it could be a drag. Oh, just too much on the power. A little bit too much. You can see he was frustrated. He was like, I had it. And then it just slipped out. So double victory there for Sheridan Moraes. Cameron Peterson comes through for second place. Great to see Darren Bin on the Suzuki up to third. Kershaw, Herron, and Good, your top six.
2 wins for the MTech Yamaha, so yeah, it was really good. I'm so happy to be back home for a while and having fun, you know. It's really slippery out here and it was made for good racing, you know. The 600s I think is always good close racing, but today was pretty exceptional.
Binder in third place, but great to see Cam Peterson in second and maintaining his lead.
Coming away with the second overall, can't complain, you know. Got a bigger gap in the championship now, so just got to look forward to the rest of the year and can't thank all the guys enough. Everyone from the team, Brandon Nassus, Aldo Scribante, Francois, I mean just everyone, couldn't thank them enough.
Next round is at SWAT Corps on the 4th of May. We'll be there. We hope to see you too.
In the Thor-sponsored results roundup for this week, confirmation of the National Supersport Championship standings with the MV Augusta ridden by Cam Peterson extends the lead to 25 points over Kawasaki's Lance Isaacs. In the MotoGP class, Jorge Lorenzo leads the championship from teammate Valentino Rossi with the remarkable Marc Marquez in third position ahead of his teammate Danny Pedrosa. We wonder if the technical stewards will check the performance of Spaniard Paul Espargaro's bike after last weekend's race in Qatar. We thought they all used the same engines. If you're not on a KTM this year, the Moto3 Championship will be out of reach, as Louis Salom proved on Sunday. Brad Binder, the second of the Hondas, in 12th place. In the AMA Supercross Championship, reigning champ Ryan Filippoto managed another overall win in Houston, Texas last weekend to extend his lead over Suzuki's Davey Millsaps.